Back here on CBS Sports Network, we're playing NFL Coaching Matchmaker with our own Logan Ryan. The league's hottest head coaching jobs are officially single, and we're swiping right on the best fits. Who's getting the ring, who's getting ghosted, and who's about to change a franchise. I love this game. So let's go ahead and bring you inside our studios. Katie Moxer and Giorgio, of course. Logan Ryan. I will say, I was sitting next to him when he was making this list.
Oh.
He put a lot of effort into it.
Okay.
So
he
did. He went back and forth. So let's go ahead and start with the Ravens.
Okay, the Ravens, we're going to go with Brian Flores, right? Okay, I don't think a lot of people see this one coming, but discipline, discipline, discipline. He brings an attitude, a discipline. I was with him in New England. We obviously see how he has his Vikings defense playing. Imagine with the Kyle Hamilton in that defense, what that can look like. He'll get the most out of the defense. Offensively, you got Lamar Jackson in them. He can bring some discipline on that side. They have enough talent. They need a coach with control, a new voice. Harbaugh was amazing. The voice might have grew old. I like Brian Flores to come bring a fresh voice in.
I thought there was another name. What else were you thinking of?
For the
Ravens, yeah. Is that
Jesse Minter is linked there, and he's a big candidate for that, but it's just that's in the Harbaugh tree.
Yeah,
I
get
to go
that.
outside the tree. I did a lot of research on this, so I'm not trying to do it.
Okay, he switched it up on me. I could have sworn it was another name, but here we go. Brian Flores, I'm here for it.
Sometimes you think it's a match, and then it's not, and then you just got to go with your gut feeling on these type of things. I'm totally with it. All right, let's talk about the Browns here. Excuse me. Cleveland also fired Kevin Stefanski after a 5-12 finish, back-to-back losing seasons. Harbaugh probably a bit of a stretch here, but there are some offensive-minded coaches available in Cliff Kingsbury, Mike McDaniel.
That's it. Offensive-minded. You have the defense. They are great at what they do. You have Myles Garrett. You have Denzel Ward. They can police themselves. Let's get someone to develop quarterbacks. We got to figure out the quarterback situation. Cliff Kingsbury. Okay. I like him. He's a young play caller. He can relate to Shador or decide if Shador is a quarterback of the future there. Because you're going to have Dylan Gabriel. You're going to have Shador Sanders. You're going to have a draft. What do you do? Cleveland has one of the most youngest talented cores in football. They have the top rookie class this past year. If you look at it, Carson Schlesinger is a rookie defensive player of the year. You have Shador Sanders. You have Fannin at tight end, and all those guys that they have. So I love Cliff Kingsbury with the young group.
Okay, let's get to the Dolphins here. You mentioned Mike McDaniel, obviously, out in Miami. I think we've heard some talk about Stephen Ross and his connection with John Harbaugh, Michigan. Who do you pair here? And
then they went and hired a GM. And I know John Harbaugh wants a place with no GM or bring his own GM. I mean, that's what I'm hearing. I can't say that for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to go with Jeff Hafley.
Okay.
I love Jeff Hafley, the Packers defensive coordinator. I think he's young. I think he's brilliant. I think he's a Coach of the Year candidate. I've seen his rise from college. He coached me in college, all the way up to what he's doing with the Packers in the NFL. I love this fit there. Why? John Eric Sullivan. I got that right? Yep, John Eric Sullivan, the Packers GM who was hired an hour ago. They bring a Packers GM. Go bring Jeff Hafley to be your coach.
I don't hate it.
Okay, I don't hate that either. Let's look at the Titans now because they parted ways with their coach, Brian Callahan, early in the season. So this is probably one of the most available teams on the market right now. Mike McCarthy has emerged as one of the favorites, but that's not who you would pair them with.
Not who I picked. You know, I'm kind of bummed about the Titans right now. I think they got to get me in the coaching search, honestly.
Because would you ever coach?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh, so it was a joke. I thought it was like, wait a second.
Way too many hours.
Okay.
I would not coach in the NFL. I'm going to go with Matt Nagy.
Okay.
Not that I want that, but I'm hearing they want a Kansas City connection because their GM is from the Kansas City tree. Okay. Spagnuolo, Matt Nagy. I go with the offensive one. Why? Because you have Cam Ward. You have a great potential at quarterback there, a great talent. He needs to be developed. He needs to be protected. Why not get Kansas City's offensive coordinator to come over there and do that? That's what I'm hearing they want to do. That's not what I would do, but that's what I'm hearing might happen.
I just don't. I mean, look, yeah, that's what you're hearing they want to do. Just, I feel like the experiment.
I'm just reading the tea leaves.
The experiment with the Bears and Caleb Williams just didn't go that well.
With Nagy?
Yeah.
No, it did not. But if you're a GM, a lot of this has to be fit with the GM. This is why it took me so much work. So you got to figure out who the GM, right? And they all hire their buddies, right? True. So I think that this is a great spot for Stefanski. But if the Kansas City GM, the guy's from Kansas City and wants to hire his guy, then he's going to hire his guy.
Sometimes love is not enough.
This is true. It has to be a perfect marriage, that's for sure. Okay, let's get to the Raiders here. Obviously, a very attractive job opening, if you will. They parted ways with Pete Carroll. What makes sense here, in your opinion?
I mean, you can argue if it's attractive or not. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It's number one pick, rebuild, I guess. People say.
Well, look, they're gonna have the number one pick in Vegas, right? Yeah. And they're gonna pick Dante Moore Mendoza. So I'm going to pick a guy, I think, of Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady's the owner there, part owner there. I think he's going to have some say in this right? And I think he's going to get his guy, Brian Daboll. I think Brian Daboll was not the issue in New York. Obviously, I don't think that was on him. He knows how to coach. He's won a Coach of the Year. So I would want Daboll to develop a young quarterback. He knows Brady well. Why does he know Brady well? Because Brian Daboll was a tight end coach. He was Gronk's coach, probably the funnest job in the world when we were on the Patriots. So Daboll knows the New England system really well. Tom Brady's a New England guy. I think he gets a New England coach. It could be Flores.
Okay.
But I like somebody to develop the young quarterback that they're going to draft. So I got Brian Daboll.
Okay, and Brian Daboll obviously did wonders for Josh Allen, and he had some good stuff with Danny Dimes and also with Jackson Dart as well. Speaking of those Giants, now that Daboll is out, who do you like to take over this? And you kind of mentioned it with the other ones. Anytime they fire a head coach outside of the Ravens, it's not always the most attractive job, right?
Yeah, no. So where are we on right now? We're on the Giants?
We're on the Giants.
Okay, you confused me with the Ravens. Yeah. I'm on the Giants. Here we go. Here's my big fish. The big fish got to fall. These two names are going to be what determine all this, and it's going to be Kevin Stefanski. Two-time Coach of the Year. You don't win that by accident. Okay, he knows what he's doing. He's an offensive guy. New York has young offensive talent, right? They have Dart. They have Scatterboo. They have Neighbors. Okay, they have the big market. This guy is from the Northeast. He's right over the bridge over there in Philly. From Jersey, that is. So he's over there in Philly. He grew up around this area. He knows what football means in the NFC East. That's like being an SEC football coach. It's a big deal up there. Pro football is up in that area, right?
Okay. Well, yeah.
So I like Kevin Stefanski. I think he's a top hire. I think he's the top of anyone's board, but I think he's going to go to New York.
Okay, this next team also needs a perfect marriage, looking for a new head coach, also looking for a new GM, and that's the Atlanta Falcons.
And this is the number one coach on everyone's board, John Harbaugh. This is where John Harbaugh ends up. And then you say, Logan, why Atlanta? Instead of other places. And it's Atlanta because they don't have a GM.
Yeah.
They do not have an active GM. John Harbaugh can come and bring his GM, choose the GM, whatever it is. And Matt Ryan might step in that front office. We don't know here at CBS. We're all waiting to see. But I will say that John Harbaugh picks Atlanta. They have a lot of decisions to make at quarterback, but I believe Arthur Blank will cut him a blank check to come. No pun intended there.
I love that reference.
And with no GM, John Harbaugh's got to land somewhere. We thought Miami. Now the GM hire changes that. I think he's going to go to Atlanta.
Okay, I could see him in Atlanta, and I think that would be a great place for him, a match made in heaven, if you will, or just in Maryland. All right, so let's head to the Cardinals now, the bottom feeder of the NFC West. All of those teams were juggernauts, and then there were the Cardinals. Obviously, they fired Jonathan Gannon here. I took a peek, and this one makes me kind of sad.
I forgot who I put for the Cardinals. Who we
You
got?
put Robert Saleh.
Oh, here we go.
You put our guy.
Yeah, they had me do a quarter of the league.
By the way, they did. Our guy, Logan Ryan, has been working.
They had me match a quarter of the league with new coaches, by the way, and checking GMs. But let's just go with Robert Saleh, right? Because Robert Saleh is a heck of a coach. It didn't work out there in New York. Why did it not work in New York? They didn't have a quarterback in New York. In Arizona, you have another quarterback issue, but he can maybe choose his quarterback. He couldn't necessarily choose his quarterback in New York.
No.
Now, because we don't know what Kyler Murray's going to do. Can Robert Saleh rehabilitate Kyler Murray, or does he get to pick his new one? But I love the discipline that he brings. They always have defensive stars. They got to get in order. And he understands how the NFC West works because of San Francisco 49ers. So I think Robert Saleh, after a good run for your Niners, hops on over there for the Cardinals.
I must say, he crushed that.
It breaks my heart. Yeah,
it does.
You did
crush that. That was a lot.
Add matchmaker to the resume.
I almost came out of retirement because this was too big.
I know. We'll see if Logan's matchmaking abilities are spot on. Let's show you one more look at the vacancies right now, which include 8 NFL teams looking for their next head coach.
As the league turns.